Well, hello, boys and girls, hey, hey, hey. I thought that instead of just doing a boring old PowerPoint presentation, because people would be bored witless and nobody ever reads them anyway, and we're visual people, so I'm going to take my Google Glass, and I've taken off all my armour so I look normal, and I'm going to show you what a microservice really is. So, let's go. Right, ignore this place, it's one of the things I'm doing. There you go, that's a microservice. So's that one, so's that one, so's that one, so's that one. Why do I say that? Because they all do exactly one thing. See? Put stuff in, it gets crushed into something else. Now, the reason that I picked these particular machines is because of this. See, all these devices use this, and you control the inputs and outputs, and you can control a few other things, auto eject and whatnot. But you can see it's a very, very simple interface, and that's the whole point. Okay, so you've got upgrade slots. That's my inventory, so it's not part of it. You can check how much electricity it's using, and da 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 da. Now, that's a crusher. Now, if I go over here, look at this one. This one's an energized smelter, but guess what? Same interface. Same interface. Okay, so let's have a look at another one. Hello, we've seen this all before. See, it's all the same. This individual one that you just put stuff in that just disappears out of here, that's a single service. This one is a little tool chain. You put stuff in here, it finishes it, pushes it into here, finishes it, pushes it into there, that finishes it and puts it in there. That's it. That's it. That's a tool chain. So let's go and have a look at one I made earlier. Dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-dum. For those that know Minecraft, I'm in creative mode. I did all this. I'm going to get rid of it all eventually. So here we have microservices, part 1. So there it is, a single service. There it is, a tool chain. So let's actually try it out. Actually, I might have to go into survival mode. Do this properly. So let's grab some iron ore and we'll watch this in action. Okay, so I go over here and where's it gone? Let's put it in the chest. Okay, so now let's do it with this one. This one's slightly different because that one does something, then that one does something different, then that one does something different, but they all do exactly one thing. Now it went out of there, went into there, it's gone into there, and there it is, steel ingot. Okay, so I put iron ore in one, iron ingots in one end, and I got steel ingots out the other. Okay, so it doesn't really matter. That's not the point. The point is each of these do one thing, and they're all configured the same way. You can't screw with them. Okay, so now let's look at a different system, the monolithic approach. See? Right. Oh my lord, what's happening here? Look at it. This is a monolithic app. We even have a database, look. Alright, so this is a nightmare. There's so many moving parts and everything has to work together. So if I put in here and I put in, oh, I'm an idiot. Sorry, I'm just going to have to spawn some in. Oh no. Bear with me, bear with me. There we go. I'll get a bunch of that. I'm going to get rid of all this. Right. So now, if I put this in here, see all the moving parts. Oh, it's a noisy thing. So this is a normal VM, right? So you've got your inputs, you've got all the system calls and all the different calls to all the different modules that are going through. So that's a normal VM. Alright? Oh, that was a mistake, never mind. So, let's look at the proper way of doing it. Cluster 1. Now you'll notice there's a big badass electric fence all the way around this, and that's because you're not supposed to ever touch these things. All of these are individual little VMs, or you can run them on Docker, it really doesn't matter. And they're all individual little VMs, and they all look identical. They have etcd for service discovery, Elasticsearch for data, then the individual services, and that shows how you connect them up, right? So they're all identical. Now you'll notice there's little pipes underneath, okay? That's because if that service, that one there, writes a key into etcd, boom, boom, all three of them now have that key. If a key is deleted, then boom, boom, they're all clustered, okay? So how do you actually do this? Well, it all starts, ignore those lot, bloody developers. You've got a cluster controller, and what the cluster controller does is it controls those services. It monitors them. It uses etcd on each of those individual VMs, right? And it controls whether or not a new deployments are occurred, or whether or not a new little server gets spun up or not. No one crosses that line manually, right? And what it does is it pulls it out of GitLab, which is what's here. So first of all, we have the developers. Those are the developers. Is that Phil? No. Anyway, so they... Oh look, I've got to kill them. I'm sorry. Shut up. God, they're tough. I'll leave them alone. Yeah, you too. This is GitLab. Changes are pushed when master is updated. Continuous delivery system pulls it out and notifies the cluster controller. The cluster controller then automatically deploys. Right? So that's how it works. That's see, it's not hard. It's not hard. Now that's cluster 1. You could have another cluster over there, which was a database cluster, and its etcd tells you where the address is and all the rest of it. So you know, it's easy. It's easy. It's not hard. It's not hard. Okay. So I'll leave the developers. I'll have to go back. I've got to deconstruct all this lot anyway. So yeah, there it is. That's a microservice. Sorry, that's a microservice. This is a bunch of microservices forming a tool chain. That's the traditional way of doing things, and that's a suggested approach. Now I just want to mention very briefly, these things don't have to be Ubuntu. You could, for example, use Core OS. In fact, it'd probably be preferable, because you can't install anything on Core OS. You have to install the services via the deployment system. So it means that that all the machines are absolutely identical. There's no chance of them not being identical. Whereas if you have an Ubuntu VM and you're using something like Puppet or Chef or whatever, you're going to get slight inconsistencies over time, right? So that's the purpose. Okay. So there you go, guys. Simple introduction using the visual medium of Minecraft. There you go. Okay. Now comes question time.